So the last thing that we did yesterday was the branches of physics. What is physics? You know, the study of natural phenomena. The word physics is derived from the word physica, and physica means nature. So that is why physics means study of natural sources, natural phenomena. Number of natural phenomena we have seen yesterday that one can discuss, like why the sky is blue, why magnets attract each other, why things fall on the ground, why why snow melt. Number of things are there. So all of these answers could only be given by a physicist. Okay. Then we have seen what? We have seen the different branches of physics. All the branches can be divided into two groups, classical physics and modern physics. Classical physics has branches like heat, mechanics, sound, optics, etc. Modern physics have branches like atomic physics, nuclear physics, plasma physics, etc. But in our book, there is no such division. It's just 9 branches are there. Just memorize them. That's all. Mechanics related with moving objects. If a thing is moving, if a car is moving, it means it is mechanics. That is why we say we are going to just to fix our vehicle, our cars, etc. Okay. Then mechanics. After mechanics, um, electricity. What is electricity? When electrons move, this is called electric current or electricity, right? Then atomic physics, all the properties, characteristic occurring of an atom is called atomic physics. If the changes are there in the nucleus of an atom, and it is called nuclear physics. Okay. Then solid state physics, studying the characteristic properties of solids is called physics. Why is it needed? Because whenever you make something, you need some information that could only be provided and studied with the help of physics. Like nanotechnology, you must have seen some video somewhere that water spilling on cloth will not wet the cloth because it is a nano cloth. All right. So different branches are there. Electromagnetism are there. Whenever electricity and magnet interact with each other, their study is called electromagnetism. Plasma physics, you know that when a solid is heated, it converts into liquid. When a liquid is heated, it converts into gas. And when a gas is heated to 1000 degrees Celsius, something happens. What is that thing? Atoms lose their electrons. So there will be no more electrons linked, associated with the nucleus. The electrons will start roaming here and there. So there would be a mixture of roaming electrons and the positive nucleus. This mixture is called plasma. And this can be obtained at very high temperature. At very high temperature. Where can we get plasma? Where? Sun, stars. The sun, the stars, all are made up of plasma, hydrogen plasma. Means hydrogen gas, the element hydrogen is there in the form of plasma. And continuously the reactions are going on there, due to which we are getting sunlight. So this is called what? This is called plasma physics. And the last one we have studied, the last 2 ones, biophysics. Biophysics is link of life and physics. For example, I'm sitting like this, so I have a balancement over here. And similarly, robotics or implanting a chip over here. This is biophysics. And then finally, astrophysics, the study of heavenly bodies. study of heavenly bodies, whatever they are in the sky, either it is moon or planets or sun or stars, all would be studied under the heading of astrophysics. So let's see the syllabus. It's a light day and not so many topics, just a very simple one. Introduction of syllabus. The syllabus breakdown, how many chapters we'll do and when will we do. Brief revision, I will repeat the same in a nutshell on Monday too. Okay. We have done these branches. This is your book. This is your book. One was printed in June 2019 and the other one was printed in July 2019. Not yet printed the new edition. All right. So the contents, there are 19 chapters in all, and we are going to study 10 chapters in grade 9. Just those chapters we will do in metric class. So chapter number 1 to 11 we will do. Chapter number 1 to 11 we will do, except chapter number 9 according to the board's instructions. Chapter number 9 will be done in grade 10. So the first chapter that we will start, what is physics, is introduction. What is physics? Important branches of physics, then the measurement, kinematics, motion and force, vectors, these are the different chapters. Equilibrium, circular motion, and then work, power, energy. Chapter number 9 we will do in metric class. And then chapter number 10, properties of matter, and then finally heat. 11 chapters, 10 chapters in all. So this is your first chapter. We have already begun it yesterday. But what the physics is and what are its main branches. We have done this one. We have done this one. Importance of physics we have seen. I've given some written work. So you should prepare the notes accordingly. And what else? Scientific method. You remember that scientific method you have done in grade 8 and in chemistry in grade 9. So I hope that there is no need to repeat them. I repeat, the topic scientific method you have done in chemistry. The same topic is there again, same logic. Scientific method is divided into observation, hypothesis, theory, scientific law. The same you will see over here. So it's okay if you have learned from there, fine. Then teaching of Islam and science. It's not so important topic, just read it by yourself. So what is today's homework? Read only teaching of Islam and science. Okay. So this will be today's topic, as you can see over here. The one which is circled is just mentioning here that how Islam focuses on learning. Then today's topic is contribution of Muslim scientists. As you can see, different scientists are here. The first one you can see on the screen, Ibn al-Haytham and Yaqub al-Kindi. So we'll do only these two today. I have cut short. Instead of doing all the physicists, Muslim physicists, today we'll be doing two of them today, and rest will be done on Monday with the revision of this one. So Google, if you see Wikipedia, that what are the prominent Muslim scientists? Then you will see a list of scientists there. They include mathematician, they include zoologist, botanist, physicist, chemist, engineer, etc., etc. All are there. So from that page, I have just take a snapshot of these prominent related scientists, Muslim physicists. Out of so many that you can see on the screen, in our syllabus, we are going to study only these ones. So these are the 5 Muslim scientists which are included in our syllabus. So let's begin with the first one, Ibn al-Haytham. Ibn al-Haytham, or his another name is Al-Hazin, right? He was born in Basra, a city of Iran nowadays. And he was the scholar, as you can see on the screen, of not only of physics, but he was also a mathematician, an engineer. He was very good in astronomy, medicine, etc. So he was a very good person. Then he wrote many books. One of the most important and most famous book, which was included in the syllabus of Western countries since 200 years ago, till 200 years ago, was Kitab al-Manazir. Kitab al-Manazir is the book which is related with optics, with light. He was the first one who studied light in a scientific way. He was the first one who defined sun rays or light rays in a proper way. He said that light rays are nothing but energy. So light is a form of energy according to him. What else he said? The light always takes the least path. Path means the route to travel. For example, light is want to go from here to here. Then light will take the least path. It will not go here like this and then reach here. No. It's not like that student who left the class for drinking water and roam with the whole building and finally reaches to the water cooler. No. It's like that student who just came out came out of the class and go directly to the water cooler by taking the least distance, by taking the least path. So light travel in a straight line. Light travel in a straight line. Okay, light is a form of energy. This was given by Ibn al-Haytham, and he disproved the Greeks' idea of vision. According to Greek idea of vision, what was the Greek idea of vision? That light enters into our eyes first, then it will go to the other objects. For example, if I am seeing this camera, the light from the tube light is entering into my eyes, and then it is going towards the camera, towards the laptop, towards the chair, there. Ibn al-Haytham corrected it. According to him, we see objects because objects reflect light. I'm seeing with these glasses because light is going to these glasses, reflecting from here and reaching to my eyes. What was the old concept? Light first enters to my eyes, then reaches over here. No, this is wrong. So Ibn al-Haytham refuted, disproved this idea. Okay? He discovered the nature of light and suggested it as a form of energy. He defined the ray of light and say it's a form of energy. Oh yes, camera. most common gadget nowadays. It was first invented by Ibn al-Haytham. And what was the name of his camera? Pinhole camera. You can prepare this camera by yourself at your home. There are a number of videos available on YouTube, right? In his pinhole camera, he didn't use any lens. He just used the property of light. What is that property of light? That light travels in a straight line. This will be discussed in detail whenever you study pinhole camera as a topic in grade 10. So make a pinhole camera by yourself. What else? Yes, with the help of this camera, he was able to capture the first ever eclipses, the picture of eclipses, sun eclipse. Okay, so it's a very important achievement. He gave laws of reflection, one of the basic law of physics. Might be you have done it in your grade 8. That light on striking an object at certain angle will reflect back in the same angle. You can see on the screen. The angle of hitting, this is called angle of incidence. Suppose if this is 60, then the angle of leaving, angle of reflection would also be same. This is called law of reflection. We will study in detail again in your metric class. Yes, you have done it in grade 8 also. And this is the reason that why we only able to see in the mirror a certain image, a certain part. He also studied the formation of image by spherical mirror. There are certain mirrors which are not flat but curved. Such mirrors are called spherical mirror. Might be you have seen at sharp bands on different roads or in malls, in supermarkets, etc. like this. So this was all about Ibn al-Haytham. Today's last, Yaqub al-Kindi. Yaqub al-Kindi there was a famous emperor, Harun al-Rashid. He established, he was very much in touch with the learned persons. So he established a building that he called House of Wisdom, a sort of library. If you have interest, the search House of Wisdom. Means a kind of university, a kind of learning place. Because you know at that time Baghdad was a learning seat, a place where people come and study. Like today we go to other countries for higher studies. So in that era, people from different parts of the world come to Baghdad to gain knowledge. So their learning place is called House of Wisdom. So Yaqub al-Kindi was a prominent member of House of Wisdom. In our book, it's written that he was born in Basra, but when I googled it last time, I came to know that he was born in Kufa. Anyway, he was the father of Arab philosophy, researched on meteorology. What is meteorology? What is meteorology? It's a branch of atmosphere science, in which we study about weather, different atmospheric conditions, etc. So he was very much um interested in meteorology. Specific gravity means density. He also researched on tides, and the most important thing that he worked on sound. And he proved that the sound is a form of energy, and each sound is the is the multiple of some basic sound that we call note. How many basic notes are there in music? You know, 7 notes. Let me sing for you. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. So only 7. So he proved this, that sound is varying from person to person due to the change in frequency. Explain musical notes on scientific ground in terms of frequency. He worked on geometrical optics. That's so. Skipping the other ones. What is the homework assignment? Nothing. Just prepare your notes. If you have your notes, just go through them. I repeat the topic that we have up till now covered or done in one way or the other. What is physics? Branches of physics. Importance of physics. Scientific method. Okay. And you should read at your home Islam and Science. And then we started Muslim scientists. Out of 5 Muslim scientists, we have done only two today. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah.